so sorry. It's been that kind of day. One more fold. Let's hold it right down. Let the head hang. Let it be heavy. Bend our right knee. Right hand comes towards the center of the mat. Inhale, sweep our left arm up. Back down. And other side, bending your left knee, sweeping your right arm up. Let's flow side to side. Inhaling up. Exhaling to a regular fold. See how that feels for your spine, for your hip joints. One more. Full forward fold, let the head hang and be heavy. Let's grab our elbows and take a rock side to side. Stretching our lower back, letting the head hang out here. Just let it relax. Let's bring our hands to our shins, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Let's step back to downward facing dog or child's pose. Pedaling our feet one heel at a time, walking our dogs, checking in with our hip joints, how our pelvis feels. Pressing equally into both of our hands. Great work. Coming down to all fours, let's move through cat and cow. So adjust those hands underneath our shoulders. Exhaling cat. Inhaling cow. If you'd like more activation, you'll lift your knees up off the mat and move through cat and cow in bear stance. Modifications for your wrists or shoulders, you can use your fists for wrists. Last one. We'll move into our spinal balance with one modification today. So normally we're going from all fours, one hand forward, one foot back. If you want to today, full plank, lift, come back to full plank, lift. So full plank or all fours. Do what feels right for you. You can be on all fours with me, or you can be flowing through that full plank. We want to be able to still breathe and to honor our body and our wrists. Last one, come down onto our forearms, either kneeling or full forearm plank. So our backside is about shoulder height or slightly below. So the backside's not above our shoulders, even when we bring our knees up. We slide that backside down to line up with the back of our head. And we'll do some hip dips now, taking our right hip down, and we roll onto the inside and the outside of the feet. Then we roll to the other side. I want you to think we're keeping our forearms down, and you're making like a half circle. So that hip, the backside does rise up a bit above the shoulders, but then it drops down. So like a little, like a little rainbow. We try to tap our hips down on the mat. Amazing job. Good. Take a break, my friends. Come down to your belly. A little Sphinx pose. We'll bring our elbows in towards underneath our shoulders and press down to lengthen our neck. Let's look back over our left shoulder to see how the neck feels. Okay. And then over the opposite shoulder. Check in with the spine, the neck. We'll bring it back, slide our hands in towards our rib cage, and we're going to push up into chaturanga, tuck our toes, engage the core, lift up. It's just a tiny lift, elbows towards the rib cage, regular plank, downward dog. So you can stay here in down dog, take a little rest, or let's add a little Spider-Man crawl, right knee to right elbow as we come into plank. Shift it back to downward dog. And other side, knee to elbow. It's like you're giving your elbow a little kiss with your kneecap. If this does not feel nice for you, you could be a kneeling plank or all fours doing high fire hydrants. Instead of the Spider-Man crawl, you could be doing fire hydrants. Great work. Downward facing dog. Pressing the earth away. Looking up between our hands, we'll be hopping or walking up between our hands. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Sweep up to the sky, breathe in, bring our feet together, knees together, twisted chair, left elbow, right knee. All the way up, a little back bend as we straighten or bend, and then twist to the other side. Keep your knees glued together. All the way up, we'll take our feet apart. Bring our hands back behind, open up your chest, and if you want to, fold forward. Every day. A little bend in our knees here. We don't want to lock out our knees. Let the head hang. So if the top of your head is facing towards the floor and your eyes are looking back between your shins or your legs. Halfway lift, breathe in, hands to shins. Fold, breathe out. Inhale, sweep up. Awesome sauce. Hands come to heart. Let's go into sun salutations. Come up to the tops of your mats. So remember, you don't have to do the jump back. You can step back, hold your plank. You don't have to do the chaturanga. I'll probably do that today. I'm taking care of my little wee wrist. Oh, this is a fun song, isn't it? All right, big breath up. Inhale. Exhale, dive and fold. Halfway up. Hop, step, or jump back to plank or chaturanga. Hold your plank or flow into your up dog or cobra and back to downward facing dog. Right foot comes up between the hands. Find a lunge, breathe in and breathe out back to plank or chaturanga, or hold your plank with me. Flow through, elbows point back towards your heels. You'll meet back in downward dog. Left foot between the hands. Rise to your lunge. Your back heel is high. And back to chaturanga or plank, where again you can hold or flow through. Meet back in downward dog. Look between the hands. Think about where you're going to put the feet. Hop or step. Halfway lift. Breathe in. Fold, breathe out. We're kind of coming to chair on an inhale. Come up. Exhale up into mountain. And let's flow again. Inhale up. Exhale, dive into your fold. Halfway lift. Fold. Step or jump back to plank or chaturanga. Hold or flow through. Meet back in down dog. Left foot up between your hands. Rise to your lunge. Keep the core on. Right back to chaturanga or plank. Hold or flow, or elbows point back. We open up, back to down dog. Right foot between the hands. Find your lunge. Use your breath to go back to plank or chaturanga. Hold or flow. Meet back in downward dog. Hop, step, or jump up between the hands, or walk. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair, breathe in. Bend the knees. Exhale, rise into mountain. Two more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, dive. Halfway up. Hop, step, or jump back to plank or chaturanga. Hold or flow. You could even do those Spider-Man flows if you want to. Meet in downward dog. Left foot between the hands. Rise to your lunge. Take it back to chaturanga or plank. Hold or flow. Meet back in down dog. Right foot up. Find your lunge. Take it right back to chaturanga or plank. Great work. Hold or flow. Downward dog. Hop, step, or jump up between the hands. Halfway lift. Fold, breathe out. Sweep to chair. Sorry, that was a bad cue. Up to mountain. And one more. Inhale. You can go at your own pace or stay with me. Dive. Halfway. Step or jump back. Hold or flow. Right foot up between the hands, you'll find your lunge. Back to chaturanga or plank, where you can hold or flow. Great job. Meet back in downward dog. Left foot up between the hands, find your lunge. Back to chaturanga or your plank. Hold or flow, and then downward facing dog. Hop, step, or jump up between the feet, halfway lift. Fold, breathe out. Sweep up, breathe in. See, I forgot the chair, but that's okay. Let's reset. Find maybe a stretch in your wrists, tuck your thumbs in. You could put your hands together, forearms together, do some wrist rotations. Yes, we're gonna do some standing poses, then crow and side crow on both sides. So you might want to bolster if you want to practice those, or you'll be doing a nice wide squat. The bolster, those big purple ones. Good job. Okay, let's strengthen first. Right foot comes up to the top. It's like bolster, schmolster. Bend our right knee. So let's bend our right knee, open up across the chest, and we're in our warrior two stance. So check in with the feet, actively pressing into both of your feet, like you're trying to split your mat in half at the same time, drawing the thighs together. So there's a lot going on in your legs, a lot of activation. Breathe. Check in with the spine and lengthen the spine up out from the pelvis. We'll be moving our biceps up beside our ears and then hinging into side angle from here. If you'd like to, place that right elbow down on your knee instead. You don't have to reach long in our side angle. Breathe. You'll be straightening out your front leg, moving into triangle pose. So right hand down towards your shin, left hand up. Breathe. Feel, listen. Got a modification for your arm today. Take your left hand and reach it back towards the back of the room. Your top hand. And then turn the palm toward the body, thumb down. Now sweep it around the front towards the mat. And now open it back up and reach long here. Think of holding yourself steady with your core. We'll be doing reverse triangle now. The obliques lift you up, your right hand lifts up and reaches back. You could wrap this left arm back around you if you want to. A little hug for your lower back with your forearm. We'll be going into balancing half moon. Take the weight back onto the front leg, lift the back leg. Balancing half moon with options to bend and straighten your supporting leg. If you prefer to stay steady, then stay steady. If you like movement, add that movement. Moving now into warrior three, our left hip turns towards the mat and we reach our arms long into warrior three. And again, if you're a lover of movement, add the movement. If you like to stay still, stay still. We'll take our left knee to our right shin, our right calf, into a plie squat or a Shiva squat. And if you want to, lean forward, hands down, lift your back foot up. You can keep your hands down or now bring them to your heart. All right, hop, step, or jump, back to plank or chaturanga. Hold or flow or take a rest in child's pose. Whew. Meet in downward facing dog. Looking up between the hands. Now the left foot comes up between the hands. Heel goes down, warrior two. On the other side, we'll do that sequence. So we've got a nice deep bend in our left knee. And again, we're really active through our legs, softening our shoulders, enjoying the warmth, the breath. Let's bring our biceps up beside our ears. And now hinge into side angle. So it's like you want to pass me a big beach ball, but your feet are glued in the sand. And that back foot still has weight in it. Amazing job. Triangle pose, straightening out that front leg. So left hand down to your inner calf or a block, right arm up. Where'd our tunes go? Sorry, guys. There it is. Now you can add that modification for triangle today. First, your hand reaches back, your right hand, then the thumb turns down, palm towards the body, sweep it in front. And then once we get to about bicep to ear, you open up that hand again and reach long. Find your breath and use it as an anchor to calm you in a stressful pose or situation. Reverse triangle, reach that left arm up, reach back, or tuck that hand back behind us. We're only here for a few more breaths before we go into balancing half moon. The weight goes onto the front foot. We lift the back foot. So in balancing half moon, we've got our chest and our hips open, so not facing the floor. You can stay with it or move into warrior three. Now that hip and your chest, they do face the floor. And we're trying to get a line between our back heel, our backside, and the back of our head. Right knee going to left calf and that foot going off to the side. You can stay here in this plie squat or lean forward, take the foot off. You can stay there or lift hands to heart. Active legs, step it back to plank pose. Let's go down onto our forearms. And again, drop the hips so that they come below your shoulders or in line with the shoulders. Looking at our hands. Make sure there's some space between our feet for a strong base. And left hand going out. Goal post. We try not to open up. Bring it back in. Other side, we make a goal post. Bring it in. Walk your right foot out. Keep it out. Take your left foot out. Keep it out. Now walk the right foot in. Left foot in. One more round. Left hand goes out, goal post. Bring it in, other side. Right foot goes out, it stays out. Then the left foot out. Then we walk them in. Belly down. Chest up. Yeah, that's a good rock. That's nice for our core. We still have time for crow. Okay, take it up. Let's just stretch the back a little bit in child's pose. Tuck the tail towards the heels. Amazing. So time for, we'll do side crow on either side and then crow. So if you're using your block or your bolster, it'll be up to the top of your mat. And you'll be facing your knees towards, let's say, the window. So you're like, your bolster's here, and you're like this, facing that way, okay? And then if this is maybe like the first time that you've practiced side crow, that's wonderful. I'm happy about that. You start with walking your hands over, but the knees stay facing forward. And we bring our left elbow to the back side of that knee. And our right elbow's trying to get into our hip. Okay? Okay. So can stay there. I don't know, you guys might like side crow more. I think it's easier than crow. You come forward, you look at the bolster, and then lift up. the feet. So you're creating a shelf with one elbow into your hip joint, one elbow into the side of your knee. So that right hand needs to be in, elbow needs to be in your hip. Your elbows are your your elbows are yourself. So this might be the first time you practice it. Let's switch to the other side. So that's to get to side crow, we need to have enough mobility to keep those knees together and go over to one side and get your elbow to your hip. Okay, now you can look forward at your block and you take the weight and lift up our feet. You can use your bolster as a pillow, as I do. Oh, why am I picking all this wrist work? Let's do baby crow. Or unless you want to do full crow. So baby crow is a little easier on your forearms. Your elbows, your armpits, and your knees meet. Come down to your forearms, and then you shift forward and lift up. So your nose is kind of on the mat. But it's not quite as difficult. So either crow, so we want to have our gaze at our bolster. Amazing. Good job, everybody. Make your way down into a seated position. Okay, so we built some heat. Whew, and we have time to stretch it out a bit. Let's do cradle the baby. Let's take our left knee and bend it, and it's going to go out to the side, or the flex foot is going to come into your hand. We want to support our knee. Or elbow and into the elbow. We could be here in our cradle the baby, working towards bringing our shin up towards parallel. So you should feel it really deep in your hip. Close your eyes. Start to lengthen up from the spine. Anchor down into your sit bones. Catch your breath. Now, the left foot is going to go into your right hand and then extend. And then the left arm will reach back and we're in heron pose. If this feels uncomfortable, bend your left knee and wrap your right hand around it instead. Sitting up tall, so try not to lean back. We're still tall, strong. Bring it around. Let's do a forward fold before we do the other side. Sweep up and dive forward. Making sure to breathe, of course. Whew. Let's walk it on up, bend our right knee and choose to, you can start here with cradle the baby or move into hands around the knee and ankle, or bring foot into elbow and wrap that other hand around your baby's head and lengthen. Nice babies, twins.
I'm more flexible on this side.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. It always feels better on one side. This is a great stretch to stay in if you want to for your hip, or you'll move into that heron, that twist. Our right foot into our left hand, we extend, lengthen, and reach that right arm back for our twist. So if this doesn't feel restful or good for you, put your right foot down and wrap your left hand around it, your knee instead. All right, unwind. Make sure you've got some space back behind you. Let's roll it on back. Massage our spines down on the mat. Take a nice, wonderful rock side to side. So we're going to add in a little bit of ab work. So the knees can be bent with the feet on the floor, or legs could be at a 45-degree angle. Lower back anchored down and shoulder blades lifted up, palms facing the floor, reaching back towards the back of your mat. So you can be there, or you can have feet down for more stability. So as we breathe in deeply, we're pumping our hands, breathing in, breathing out. Continue to big, beautiful breaths. We're trying about 5 pulses for each breath in, 5 pulses for each breath out. Nice slow breath, quick pulses. If it feels intense or too much for your neck, put your head down. Wonderful. Put the feet down. Oh, I don't think I could get near to 100 just yet. Let's lift up into a bridge pose. Soles of the feet down on the mat. Let's stretch the core. Feel your belly relax. Release some of the tension in the backside. We're internally rotating our thighs. Slowly lower. Extend the right leg long, bend the left knee, draw that across the body for a spinal twist. This will be our last 2 poses. It's 12:45 as of now, if anyone needs to rush back to work. All the way to the other side. Try to get at least 10 breaths on this twist either side. Open your wings up so your bottom leg can be straight and lengthened. Amazing work. So once you've got your 10 breaths there, you can roll back onto your back. Not a lot of time for Shavasana today. Let's take a big stretch or stretch from our fingertips to our toes until we're ready to roll over onto one side. Then we'll press into the earth with our top hands, come up to our seated position, crisscross. Let's bring our spines long, place our hands on our knees with our palms open, ready to receive. So before we end, I was going to do a nice talk about spring, but I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I'll do it anyway. Think of what you might be awakening or growing within yourself this spring. Focusing on growth, renewal, letting go of darkness of winter. Let's take a big breath in and reach our hands up to the sun. And if it feels nice for you, a gentle bow towards Mother Earth, thankful and grateful always for the gifts given. Namaste. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Maybe I'll see you Thursday and Friday and Saturday morning. Yeah. That was
stretches I can do to like that side
twists, definitely.